Like it, you beat somebody up.
I mean, in Chicago, that's a part of
part of the
you
training.
But like once you're born, you just come out. You got to swing on somebody.
You come out swinging and doing
the footwork.
It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. I ain't
Tony's a cute, my love is pure. Tony's a cute, my love is pure.
Show your love for Taquita Love. Comedy is pure.
Hey.
as always.
You know what it is when your guests just come and rep all your merch and support you in any way that they can.
I came here with this on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
you like my biggest fan without even knowing it.
Number one right here. Number one fan.
This
right
is my
here.
favorite episode, just so you know, because Martin has on the Taquita Love hat.
Yeah.
Healing on another level, and the laughter is the best medicine. Laughter is the best medicine.
But that could be
Melicin?
like melanin medicine.
Okay, come on.
There
That's
you
the
go.
name of the book, Melicin.
Ooh.
Can you pronounce it? Melicin?
Melicin.
Melicin, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then on the insert it says melanin plus medicine equals the best healing.
Okay, there go my branding. Look at it. Look at that. Now I got to do all the t-shirts over.
No, you just have secondary t-shirts when you sell one of these.
Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're here. Just because your energy is always good.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Like everywhere I go, no matter what show, it's like, and also hanging out. Like I think the improv holiday party. That's when I was like, Martin be turning up. I was like, he is in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier of like how we met. So anyways, before I get started, Martin Morrow is here. He's a comedian.
Hello.
He's an actor. Do you do all the writing, producing?
I do writing. I wouldn't say producing because that costs money.
Okay.
I let other people spend their money.
He'll use your money to do whatever you want him to do.
Whatever you need.
Whatever you need. Okay, so we met a Chicagoan.
Yes.
So Chicago comedy in the building. I think it's like a secret society or like a club.
A little bit, yeah. They're all just pockets of us all over the place.
Yeah. I met you. You said we met through Chris Redd.
My recollection was it was a Chris Redd show, I think at Up Comedy Club, and he introduced you.
In Chicago?
In Chicago, yes.
Okay.
Back when Up Comedy Club was a thing.
Okay. I know I met you, but I don't remember that encounter. I do remember LA. Like when you came to LA and you were just all over. It was like not that I didn't want to bump into you, but you were everywhere. Like everybody know you. Yeah. And you just like all over the comedy clubs, all over the comedy scene. I see you on TV a lot in commercials. And I was like, yo, the homie from Chicago. Yeah. I did your show at the barber shop. And I think that's when I actually had like a real full on like conversation, and I feel like we kind of bonded a little bit. Yeah. At the comedy show that you booked me on.
Yeah, because I remember you were. It was everyone there was. It was like right after the cusp of the pandemic. Yeah. And you were like, I'm still gonna wear my mask and be safe.
Yeah,
I was like, we out here.
Everybody was. It was just like girls gone wild outside. And when I say that, I mean like remember the videos or Freaknik almost minus the sex, but like everybody was outside, like we here and like we needed to be out. Yeah. And I was like sitting outside because I needed ventilation and air, and everybody was just living their best life. And
we had packed it in. We packed it in that night. So
yeah, I wiped everything down with Clorox wipes because that's what everybody did at that time. Yeah. It was just like you ain't got no wipes, It's just like people sprayed themselves down with Lysol. I remember doing that on stage.
Yeah, and then you killed it. So
it was because of the Clorox.
It was because of Clorox. Yeah,
Clorox killed it.
You cleaned it, then you killed it.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, since I don't know, tell me about your comedy journey. As far as like, what did you do before comedy, and how did you get into stand-up?
Yeah, so I actually started while in college. So I was in marching band and stuff like that. and me and a friend of mine were we had like a friend group of 5 of us who had came from the same high school, and 2 of them were like in this weird on again off again relationship. So me and the other dude who were single were like, yo, we got to find our own kind of thing that we can do. And that became stand up. We started doing open mics. They had monthly open mics, so we were doing those, and then it just kind of kept branching off. And then I had an internship at the beginning of 2010 in New York. So I started comedy like 2008-ish, 2007, 2008-ish.
Okay.
Pretty much off and on. 2009, I started like traveling more a little bit. I'd go to Atlanta, I'd go to Birmingham, like stuff like that in the southeastern region. And then I went to New York in 2010 and realized like, oh, I'm trash. Like I'm
New York will check you real quick.
Oh, so I would go home crying. I was 21 years old. I would go home crying every single night because I had my internship at 8 in the morning, and I would end up like either late or just tired all the time. Like I remember having to sleep in the bathrooms of my internship because I would stay up late doing open mics and stuff like that, or just like hanging out, trying to meet people, network, that kind of thing. And most of those events were happening in like Brooklyn or Manhattan. So then I would take the train, 3-4 in the morning to get back up to Queens where I was staying, and then I'd then I have to be up in like 3 more hours, and I just was worn out, and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? So that was kind of how I got started. But I think those experiences, I think sometimes you have to fail to succeed.
Of course,
yeah.
100%. In my experience as a registered nurse, I got kicked out of the nursing program. Yeah, I actually got kicked out of the nursing program. I think it was after my 2nd year because I failed bed making, I believe. And they were like, nah, you got to go. And that was my failure.
Wow.
And now I still don't make my bed, but what? I'm a registered nurse. What?
Yeah. I didn't know that was part of it because I see so many TikTok nurses, and I'm like, how did you get this? You're killing people.
No, I'm joking. I don't know if it was just bed making, but it was some other stuff. Oh. Whatever. They said I did whatever, and I didn't.
Yeah.
But
You fought somebody. I understand. Like you beat somebody up.
I mean, in Chicago, that's a part of.
Part of the
you
training.
But like once you're born, you just come out. You got to swing on somebody.
You come out swinging and doing the
footwork.
Time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. It's time for the percolator. I ain't fucked up.
Oh, I don't want to say that because
I ain't fucked all week.
You don't know that song?
No, I know the song.
I probably shouldn't say that on here. Okay.
We'll censor that part out.
Yeah, I will. I'll cut all that out. All the footwork, everything.
Whoa, you don't have to cut it out. I feel like that was a really prevalent part of this episode.
It has been the highlight.
Yeah, I thought you were going to name this episode Martin, Morrow, and Footwork.
Oh, you want that?
I mean, I feel like that's a great title.
Okay, you got it. Footwork, because you kicked it off on Super Mario.
I'm better at doing it while sitting down. Standing up, I got a bad knee, so.
This is like why I invited you to be on my podcast, because your energy is like, you don't expect you to be so fun. And I hate to say that because, like some people just don't look fun.
Thank you.
And that's insulting for me to say. I think.
No. I get that a lot.
But you're you are the funnest person in the room.
Thank you.
When I look on Insta stories, I see you and I see Mateen and y'all, wherever y'all at, I don't think it's lit all the time, but you make us feel like we missing out on some shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, like we just sitting here and it's just like, why is it so lit when you sitting? Now, that's why, because you did the footwork while you're sitting down.
I mean, I think I like to come at things kind of subtle and be observant before I fully enter the situation. But, life is short. It's funny because I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she was saying how, like, she had texted me some stuff because someone had passed away, and she was like, oh, if something happened to you, I wouldn't be able to go on. And I kind of let that settle for a day, and then like I called her yesterday and was like, I don't want you to say that anymore. Like if something happens to me and I knock on wood, but like if I unfortunately pass away or whatever, I would want you to still like flourish. I would want you to do all those things that I couldn't do or accomplish. And so like if I'm in heaven or I can look down and be happy, like hell yeah, my mom's crushing it. Like that would make me happier than like her just being sad all the time, you know?
Well, you always bring the life of the party with you. So I appreciate that. And your energy is always received. Like, Martin here. Yay, I'm going. It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
So stand up. What has been the highlight in your stand up career?
Wow, the highlight in my stand up career. Yeah, so far, I think being able to just travel, number one. Like, I never, again, I'm a kid from Alabama, right? So I never thought I'd be able to go to London and say I did stand up in London, or stand up in Shanghai, or stand up in Cape Town, South Africa, like that.
Oh, you went to Cape Town?
Yeah, it was
How'd
beautiful.
you get there?
I flew. It was a plane.
What show meaning?
Oh,
what show took you there?
Cape Town Comedy Club.
God forbid you took a boat. That would have been fucked up.
That would have been messed up. I was taking a boat back to Africa. Wow.
That would have been bad.
All right. But yeah, no, Cape Town was beautiful. I don't know if that club is still around, but that was a lot of fun. So I think being able to do that and like have good shows in places that, you know, we didn't really study Shanghai and, you know, Alabama history.
Yeah.
I think also just like a lot of the opportunities that have come with it, a lot of the people that I've met. I think that's for me has been kind of the biggest stuff because, again, I'm just like a normal dude from Alabama. So that's not like something that we really get, especially like if you're not like upper echelon. Like we had the really rich people from my school and stuff like that, but coming from kind of not poor, but like we were like I was always taught to be humble, and so I think having to register that and continue with that as opposed to like the people who weren't maybe taught that from my school or from my environment, I think that's for me is the most like cherished experiences, is being able to meet people and travel and do cool stuff. Yeah, you know, with cool people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What's your ultimate goal with stand up?
My ultimate goal with stand up
is there one?
To get out. I think that
I'm in a gang. You got to get jumped out of the gang. Get jumped out the gang.
The comedians can't fight, so there's no. They couldn't jump me.
You got to get laughed out. Okay.
Yeah, you got to get laughed out. Laugh. I want to be able to build my name and build my brand to an extent where like, you know, you see, oh, Martin Morrow's going to be in town. The show sells out like that.
Well, you already make me come out the house just by wherever you at. I'll be like, he out there? Okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
So your energy is infectious, I think. Even, you know what I'm saying? It's like a subtle infection.
A subtle infection. That's
which is chronic, which is, you know what I'm trying to say. It's good, not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope I'm not offended.
No.
I feel like this is the second time I said something. You was like, what
subtle infection. I think that's the new title of this episode.
Subtle infection. Yeah, like a calm before the storm.
Yeah.
But you bring in both.
I'm bringing the calm and the storm.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a calming presence. I think that's a good thing to have right now.
But the storm is killing it on stage.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal.
Because we were at Laugh Factory together. Yeah. How long ago was it? Tehran show, I believe.
Tehran Thursdays.
Yeah, and you're there a lot. I always see your face on the flyers for Laugh Factory. But when I did the show with you, it was just like, yo, I don't think I've watched you perform, but I think I paid a lot of attention to you when I saw you at the Laugh Factory. It's like, it was just fun. Yeah. And I was just like, dang, Martin, I forgot you had that Chicago thing on you.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I think that doing improv helped a lot with just kind of like loosening up on stage, because I used to be very like, this is my set, this is what I have to do.
Me too.
And now I'm more in a position of, all right, I just kind of know what I want to end with. Yeah. And then whatever happens in between, I'll let it happen. Yeah. Because I think it's easier or better to go with the flow as opposed to like having this kind of rigid and structured set. Because I know that's just not me. Like, you know, I'm just a guy who shows up and it's like, all right, who wants to have fun? And if you don't, then you can. Your loss. It's your loss. Yeah.
I was the same way. I felt like in the beginning, I was, you know how you try to find your lane. I had a show where I bombed very bad. It was a corporate gig, and I was on stage. I was doing my jokes. I had my tight 7. I started in LA, so I guess I had like a reverse, because in LA it's kind of showcase town. It's like you only have 5 to 7 minutes a lot in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, like, all I had was like, I know this joke work. I get a laugh right here normally, and da 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 da. And I got on stage, and I felt like I was reading a book report because everybody in the audience, it was like you could hear a pin drop. They were just like we don't know why. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that warming the audience, the crowd work is something that I guess at the end I was like, oh. I was there with Sean Grant, Jesus Sepulveda, and Nika Williams. And literally we were at a corporate table. So it was like dinner and like everybody was dressed up nice. I don't think I got one laugh the whole time. Like, and literally when I sat at the table, Sean Grant turned his back. He was like, I don't want none of that on me. He was like,
Had he gone up yet?
He hadn't gone up. He was like, well, don't put none of that bad energy on me. You know, and when I sat down, I was like, I wish I was Dorothy and I could have clicked my heels and been somewhere else. Yeah. And that's what I thought, but I didn't say it. And when I said that to the comedians at the table, they were like, well, you should have said that on stage. That would have, you know, you should have just been yourself. Like, broken that tension. So that's one thing that I have learned, because I used to be like cookie cutter. I'm like, I know, that's it. Like, know how you doing? Nothing. Just like, okay, joke 1, joke 2. And it worked sometimes. And then it was like, yo, who are you? You know? And now, like you said, it's just like, it feels good to be okay knowing that at some point, while I'm being myself, you gonna laugh. You gonna like me. You may not like me, but I got a joke in my back pocket that'll work if if the conversation or the warming up don't work. And it makes a difference to your comedy.
Yeah, I think something that a lot of comedians forget, because we're in an age of instant gratification, or, you know, we're like, oh, if this doesn't hit, then I can get these endorphins from social media or whatever the case may be. But I think we tend to forget, like, everybody's not supposed to like you. Like, if you're universally liked, then...
Are you being authentic?
Are you being authentic? Are you being real? Are you being... You know, are you able to tell your own truths? Because no one gets into comedy because they're a perfect person. That's what I always say. Like, you'll never. There's no one who's like, I had a great life. My family is perfect. I've never done anything wrong. Like, something's messed up in your head to want to be like, I need gratification from strangers, just instant, at all times.
I bare my soul.
Exactly. That's a crazy thing to do. That's not like that's why public speaking is the number one fear. But I think that when we are able to talk about our flaws and our history and our past, our traumas, our realness, I think that's what makes like this feel more real and feel more special, and people connect with stuff like that.
Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of times it's like that you were thinking it, but I said it. So a lot of times people want to say things and they feel a certain way, and then when you get on stage and say it, they be like, oh yeah, he real. You know, like we connect, like he's like just like me. Yeah. And I think that makes comedy worthwhile. It's like the connection with people, which is like me being a nurse. That caring for people is my other connection to people. It's like, you need something and I'm happy to be able to help. You know what I mean? Yeah. What's next for you? Stand up.
Wow. Stand up wise, traveling a little bit more this spring and summer. I got some stuff in the books for Alabama right now. So going home for that. Doing the Slow Comedy Festival.
Yes, I did that. I did it. I don't know what year I did it. I'm actually doing like a show. Like people that did the festival, they're doing a show. I think it's March 29th. Shameless plug. I'll be in Slow for 2 comedy shows. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
have you been out there before?
First time.
I feel like the land looks like a board from Super Mario Brothers. It's so beautiful. Wow. Like it's like you'll get like when you're driving out there, you'll get what I mean. Like it's just like a colorful town. Yeah. And I think the air is fresher there too for some reason, because it's but that's dope. Congratulations on that. Everybody there was good. Mark Fry was a part of. Is he in charge?
I believe so. Okay.
Yeah. Slow. That's gonna be dope. Okay, I see you on commercials all the time. you just be being yourself, or how you be booking?
You know,
Is there
you
a
know
trick
what's-
to booking?
You know what's funny? So I had when I was in Chicago, I would go out for auditions a lot for like, you know, all the Chicago Med, Chicago PD, all that stuff, or, you know, all the TV shows and all the, you know, various commercials, but I wouldn't book. I was not booking at all.
Okay.
Like I was like, man, this is not for me. And then when I moved out to LA, I was kind of like, I'd been worn out. I've been doing this since I was 18 and I was, you know, 30. And so I'd been kind of disenfranchised by the industry and just, you know, a lot of like other stuff happening mentally that messed me up. And so I got out and I was just like a security guard. And then
In LA?
in
Security
LA,
guard?
yeah, I was just doing security.
How long?
This was about 6-7 months.
Okay. You was just like, I'm good.
Yeah. I
Let
was
me
like-
just beat somebody up for no reason.
Yeah, shave my head, all that stuff. I was
Okay.
like, I just want to work security
Okay.
at night, you know, whatever. And then a friend of mine invited me to a stand-up show, and the show itself was so bad that I was like, why am I torturing myself with like being away from something that I'm good at and
Yeah.
enjoy? And so that kind of led to me like kind of getting back into acting as well, and but like kind of with a new, I wouldn't say chip on my shoulder, but just more of like a attitude of like, fuck it, you know.
That's when they say that's when everything happens, when you don't care.
Yeah,
It's like and you just walk into who you are and your purpose and just be you.
yeah. And I think that once I was able to kind of like be me and add my own ad libs, find my own way of memorizing scripts. Because I used to be like, oh, I have to know this thing exactly, word perfect, da 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 da. And then when it became like, okay, if I don't get it, I don't get it. I'll
Yeah.
be fine. I think that's when things just kind of picked up. So
Yeah.
I think that if there, I don't know if I wouldn't say there's a specific technique, because I'm sure there's different things that work for different people. But I know for me, it's just kind of coming in with like, I know what to do to an extent. I know how to sell stuff, and I, you know, I just want to be myself up there, or be an exaggerated and goofy form of myself.
I know, because you put my shirt on when you first got here, like, it's time. And I'm like, did you think he was like, he think he on a commercial set?
Gotta rep the brand.
Hey. That's crazy, because I feel like a lot of people, like Brandy Denise was here, and she was talking about like for JFL, she was like, I'm not doing this no more. You know, like I think once you get to a place of like nonchalantness, or just like, I just don't give a fuck, like
Yeah.
I don't care, like I'm gonna keep doing me. If they see me, they see me. If they don't, then they're missing out.
Yeah.
I feel like that energy and that like type of like stance makes it so like I feel like you attract what you want anyway. Be like when you're in that space of like, the opposition is pick me. Why don't you pick me? Why don't you book me? Versus, okay, I'm here. All right. You like, I know I got something to offer, you
Yeah.
know? And that's a swag. That's it. It's a swag.
Yeah.
And you wear that swag so well.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like, again, the worst people can say is no, or that they don't like you. And I you know, I'm a firm believer in other people's opinion is none of my business.
Okay.
Or their opinion of me is none of my business, unless it affects my money or my family, right?
Okay.
But I think for me, it is kind of that. It's just sort of a, you know, if you don't like me, then fine, that's on you. Or you know, I try to live my life to be better and better each day as a human, as a person, as a man. So I know it's rarely on me. You know,
Like, you got the problem.
Yeah, if you're like picking up something from like, oh, well, his energy was weird here, or whatever, you know, maybe, but maybe it's how you read it.
Yeah,
So
that's a good way to be.
Yeah.
I think it keeps you in a happy place, and it keeps people drawn to you. Like I don't think I'm the only person that's like, oh, Martin is fun. He's
Yeah.
good. He's great to be around.
Yeah.
Regardless, this is like comedy club party, everybody hanging out. It's like you just like having a good time, living life.
Yeah.
That's what we should do.
Yeah. Just be malleable.
Do you had any unexpected trips to the emergency room?
I've not had any unexpected trips. I'm a very safe person.
Okay.
I don't know how to ride a bike. Because that's how I fell once when I was 5. Like we took the training wheels off. I fell and I said, I think I'm good on this. And they were like, no, but that's the whole thing. When you
Yeah.
fall, you got to get back up. I go, no, I think I'm good down here. on the ground. This is fine. Very luxurious ground.
Never. Did you just ride the bike with the training wheels, or you just was like, I'm good?
I just stopped riding it, and then I had a friend in college tried to teach me. Not friend, but he was like my roommate. He was like, "You don't know how to ride a bike? I'll teach you." Some little white dude named James.
Shout out James.
Yeah. So I kind of like picked it back up then when I was like, well, I have a car. I don't need this. So, so no, but I haven't had any unexpected trips. I think at most I just had my tonsils removed. And
how was that? Like, when did you know that you needed your tonsils removed? Like,
I was like a child. I was like 8 maybe, and I think I just had tonsillitis or whatever it is, and so they were like, oh, you got to have his tonsils removed. And I remember watching, so you get like a few days off from school and stuff.
The best part.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm also not emotional, but I cry a lot at stuff. Which
I'm not emotional, but I'm a cry at all.
Oh yeah, I'm a big crier. I love crying.
That's just being in tune.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's okay. I think it's
healthy.
Okay to cry. But there was an episode of Rugrats where Susie got her tonsils removed, and I was staying at my granny's house because my granny was watching me because my mom was at work. And and that episode came on because they like have a whole thing where the tonsils are, they kind of anthropomorphize them to be like their own kind of character in this way. And so I'm seeing that, and I started crying. Like, I remember crying and watching this episode, like, oh no, my tonsils are gonna be sad they don't have me, and all this stuff. So, I got ice cream. That was cool.
But everybody rave about popsicles. I'm a pediatric nurse, so one of the things with kids is just like, give me a popsicle. Can I get all the popsicles?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And then you get older, you find out they're like
sugar,
5 cents. Well, I mean, yeah, but like they're mad cheap. You can just get them whenever.
Like, I don't have to be sick to get a popsicle.
Yeah.
So you book all the commercials. Your energy's electric. You on stage blazing it. You about to travel doing comedy. Mm-hmm. What more could you ask for?
A house.
Okay.
I want to be able to own a house in LA. I want to be able to like write my own stuff, like write my own TV show, movies.
Do you do that now?
I do, but I'd like to be able to like sell it so that way I can then buy a house and then and just kind of cruise off of that for a little bit and eventually when I'm like 60, I retire and have a farm somewhere with my family and live my best life.
Okay, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Well, tell everybody where they can find you in this camera.
Well, number one, make sure you guys check out www.taquitalove.com.
Hey.
Get the hat. Taquita right there and this T-shirt.
I love you, Martin.
I love you too. And then you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff at Martin M. Morrow, spelled like tomorrow. Hey. I post all my shows and motivational quotes and stuff like that on there.
Oh, that's what's up. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And I hope to hang out with you soon.
Yeah, we'll go dancing.
Oh, karaoke dancing, anything. But make sure you wear this whole outfit again.
Yes. I'm gonna get some pants. I'm gonna get some pants with you like your face plastered on each side, or get like Taquita on one side, then Love on the other side.
You're not gonna do that, but thank you. I appreciate it.
You don't you dare me.
You will do it. You will do it.
Yeah, don't challenge.
Tony's a cute. My love is pure. Tony's a cute. My love is pure.
Show your love for Taquita Love. Comedy is cure.
So as always, you on this shit. I had one dude was like, hey, you think you could bring a brother the clear machine home? Oh, the clear machine. He was like, yeah, ma, the reviver. Clear. time. I'm Taquita Love. Thank you.